which is going to be this. It's going to be Ravens dominant at home again, this time crushing the Seahawks 37-3. The Seahawks really stood no chance in this game yesterday. It was probably Geno Smith's worst game in the NFL as a starter yesterday as well, too. I know he's probably had others, but yesterday was bad. 13-28, 157 yards, and he was sacked 4 times, through a pick. Also, Kenneth Walker the third was shut down yesterday, 16 rushing yards on 9 attempts. Charbonnet only had 8 on 4 attempts, so they literally held them to 28 yards on 3 rushers yesterday. Receiving was awful yesterday as well too. JSN was probably their only bright spot, but he didn't even do that great. He had 6 receptions for 63 yards, and DK Metcalf was absolutely kept in check, but he did get 1 bomb thrown to him for a 50-yard reception yesterday. So, he had that, but other than that, he didn't do much of anything yesterday. Hasn't been doing much of anything most of this season. 100-yard game all year long. There's something that has to give here. TJ and also Lockett yesterday, very ineffective, 3 catches for 32 yards. So this was no help for the Seahawks team that really is reliant on their passing game. Defense was really mediocre yesterday. They didn't do much of anything yesterday. They wound up giving up 515 total yards yesterday. And you know what? This is what happens when the offense doesn't show up for the Seattle Seahawks. They keep their defense, they make their defense, which is a liability, look really bad. Because when their offense is flowing and they're actually moving the ball, the defense has time to rest. Yesterday, they had no time to rest. They gave up almost 300 yards on the ground yesterday. That's what the key difference in the game was. The Ravens just kept pounding that rock, kept the ball on the ground, and absolutely dominated a Seahawks team that was freshly anointed the first place team in the NFC West, and seems like that, they could be a little bit tougher than the 49ers moving forward, but that was all smoke and mirrors, because we all know that the 49ers are in a division that they are really built to win, but the only way they can lose it is if they just blow it on their own. And, Seattle is really fortunate to be able to even say they're 5-3 right now. They're more of a 4-4, 3-5 team, in my opinion. They have not played great football the first 9 weeks of the season. They've been able to have the right type of opponents to where you can get certain wins in certain games. They could have easily lost last week against the Browns as well, too. So, there's just a lot of things that are left to be desired with the Seahawks. And, maybe they might need to make a bit of a switch if this thing doesn't move forward the way that they needed to. I really truly feel Drew Lock is the better fit for this group right here. Now, Lamar Jackson yesterday, 21-26, 187 yards. He didn't have any touchdowns yesterday, but he still was able to be consistently really good for his team. He got 60 yards on the ground yesterday as well, too. Gus Edwards and Keaton Mitchell were absolutely gems yesterday. They wound up getting themselves 190 yards apiece, 190 yards in total, on 14 carries and 3 touchdowns. So that's something that you really do need to look at and say, hey, they got something here. And then, you add in Lamar's 60, and then Justice Hill had 40 yards. They just had a day yesterday on the ground. Like, everybody looked good on the ground. Mark Andrews, 9 catches yesterday. OBJ finally in the mix. He got himself a touchdown, 5 catches for 56 yards. Zay Flowers was really held in check, but with OBJ having a good day, that kind of made it to where that didn't really matter, because Andrews and Beckham were really good. And then the defense did their job. Kyle Van Noy, 2 sacks yesterday. Matabuki had a sack yesterday as well, too. And Oa had a sack as well, too. So they combined as a group for 4 sacks against this team. So it's just really, things are moving in the right direction for the Ravens, who are in the toughest division in all of football. They're sitting at 7-2 right now, with the rest of the division sitting at 5-3. So this is incredible because they got the Browns coming in this week into Baltimore, and everybody knows that the Baltimore Ravens have lost one time at home, and that one loss was really early. It was so early in the season now that it really was kind of like whatever. But this is going to be their biggest game in the last few weeks, and it's going to be huge against the Browns, who come in here 5-3, and they are playoff eligible right now as well too. So if we started the playoffs today, everybody in the North is in the playoffs. So this is going to be a really good game, and we're going to get more into it tomorrow with the NFL Bet Exchange. So with that, we're going to go ahead and move forward and get into our next topic, and that's going to be CJ Stroud.